Next is your compiling and linking. You will have your source code. You will save your source code as .c. Next you have your preprocessor. Okay. Next compiler, assembler and linker. So first pre-processing, what will be done is your comments will be removed. Okay. In your program you will be writing multiple comments in each line or at various lines. Those comments will be removed. Next is expansion of macros. Okay, or macros, for example, if you have given some defined statement before, that everything will be expanded and even your header files will be expanded. So these things will be happening in pre-processing. Next is your compiling. In compiling, your .c file changes into .s file, that is your assembly level instructions. Next comes your assembling, which changes your assembly level to your machine level instructions, and the file extension will be .o. Next comes the linking process. Linking means you will be having different function calls. All those linking of those calls will be happening in this step. Next, even extra code it will add in your linking. Okay, so after this you have your execution. Next are your constants. The next topic is constants. Constants are nothing but they are read only and it cannot be modified throughout the program. Okay, and constant, it can be of any type. It can be integer, string, character, etc. And the keyword for constant is const. Okay, for example, if const int a is equal to 25, it means int a is equal to 25 throughout the program. That is the meaning of your constant. And the properties of constant is you have to definitely initialize it with declaration, because if you didn't do it, some garbage value will be stored. So always you have to initialize your constants, and it is immutable, that is it is only initiated once and it cannot be modified. And you should know the difference between constant and literals. Constant are nothing but the variables that cannot be modified, whereas literals are nothing but the numbers or the character or the strings which we are giving. Okay, for constant the keyword is const, and for literal you don't have any keyword. In constant you can determine the address of the constant. In literals you cannot define except string types. Okay, and in constant is can also be used in your preprocessor. Example, define pi 3.14. Okay. Next are the variables. The variables are which can be varied unlike your constant. Okay, and it has the memory location. Next topic is your variables. Your variables have a particular memory location. Okay, and the syntax is data type, variable name and value. For defining your variables, there are three types. First, you have to declare the variable. You have to tell the name of the variable. Next, you have to define the variable. For example, int a. Next, you have to initialize the variable. For example, int a is equal to 10. Okay. So, these are the three steps for your variable. And there is a difference between initialization and assignment. Okay. For example, int a is equal to 10 is initialization. Whereas assignment is you already have a variable int a. For that, you will be assigning some number, some literal. Okay. So, that is the difference between initialization and assignment. And there are some rules for assigning variables. You can have alphabet, digit and underscore, okay, in your variable name. It cannot start with a digit, but it can start with an alphabet or underscore. And no white space is allowed between your variables. And there is no reserved word should be given in your variables. Okay, so these are the rules for assigning variables. Next, there are 6 types of C variable types. First is local. Okay, it doesn't have a keyword. Global variable type, that also doesn't have a keyword. If it is given inside a local block, then that variable will be only belonging to that block. Okay, global means it will be defined at the top of the program and it will belong to the entire program. So that is your local variable and global variable. Next you have your static variable. In static variable, static is the keyword. Here only it can be defined only once and the scope depends on where it is declared. The default value is 0. Okay, and the specialty of static variable, it can retain the value. Okay, for example, in this example, if a is equal to a plus 10 and b is equal to b plus 10, where a is a normal integer and b is a static value. So what we will do is the value of a will be 30 always, but the value of b will be 40, 50 and 60 because b stores the value as it is a static variable. Okay. Next is automatic. Automatic is nothing but local variables. Okay, they are automatic by default. That is, the scope is local and it will end after the local scope is over. Okay, and the keyword is auto, and the default value of automatic value is your garbage value. Next, you have your external variable, that is, it can be shared between multiple C files. Okay, so extern is the keyword for that. It is global. If, for example, if extern int is equal x is equal to 10 is given, it means n number of programs can use this extern int x is equal to 10. Next is your register keyword, register variable. Keyword is register. It is stored in CPU register instead of your RAM. It is a local scope and it will be till the end of the block, and its default value is your garbage value.